I don't know how to fully explain it, but it's almost like a lot of men that I see that I talk to, it's almost like somebody's been talking at them versus talking to them and just being a good listening ear. And so a lot of times when they're in my presence, I don't do a lot of talking. I just
Welcome to another episode of Follow Suit. As always, I'm your host, P.O. Today we have a very, very important episode. Have a good quality guest here today. Somebody who is doing positive things within the community, positive things for the culture. And I wanted to take a time to highlight this and have this person on this episode for this conversation because it's something that's not often highlighted within our culture. I have my homie, Miss Kelly the Great. Kelly is a functional medication nutritionist. How do you
yes.
word that?
No, you got it. You had it. Functional medicine nutritionist.
Functional medicine nutritionist. There we go. All right. So, first of all, thank you for coming on. Can you explain to the people exactly what that is?
Yeah, so functional medicine, and I'll kind of explain it from a conventional medicine standpoint. Typically, when you go to your doctor and you see your primary care physician, they say that you have high blood pressure. They'll prescribe you high blood pressure medication. Versus if you were to come to me, I'll say, what's your sodium levels looking like, your potassium levels, your stress levels, what's your environment looking like, to get to the root cause of exactly why that's happening so we can kind of reverse high blood pressure.
Got it. And see, and high blood pressure is something that's very, very big in our culture.
Yeah.
I knew growing up, like I had great uncles, great aunties, and grandparents, everything like that, who always seemed to have high blood pressure. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. When you get this age, you'll get it too. And it's like, well, do I got to deal with that? So,
Yeah.
what was it that got you into that to start? Was it something you like always had a passion for?
Yeah.
Did you see somebody you love go through that? What was that?
Well, that's actually a great question because that first part of the question, I don't think I've ever even thought about it myself. When I was about 9 years old, I watched my grandfather pass away. When my
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, no worries. When my grandfather passed away, we were in the hospital, and I remember him saying, I need a fan," because he was so hot. And at the time, my mom was like, "We don't want the children in here. You guys go downstairs." And so as we were going downstairs, I remember seeing the staff just kind of chilling, going downstairs acting like he didn't need a fan and coming back up very slow, very careless. And that broke me. And I said that would never happen again.
Yeah.
Fast forward to life. I remember when I moved to Charlotte, and that was probably about 10 years ago. And I was going through my own, not just health things, but relationship things. And it kind of just threw me completely off. And I remember my dad coming to visit me in Charlotte, and he said, Kelly, if you don't get it together, we're going to have to move you back home, which is so crazy because I'm like, I'm all the way grown.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What you talking about? And, but he wasn't wrong because I wasn't okay. And so I remember, no lie, that night I got on my knees and I was like, God, I know I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I said, but if you just get me through this time, then I'll completely change. And I'm not even kidding you. I remember driving that day. So I used to be a gymnastics teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I remember driving that day to work and I was listening to the radio and they were talking about combining two different vitamins to create antidepressants. I saw a billboard about vitamins. On the radio, they were talking about vitamins and nutrition. I'm like, I listen to this hip hop station every day.
And you never.
I have never heard anything about any vitamins.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was divine intervention, to be honest with you. A lot of times we don't know, where that source is going to come from. And at that point, I just became obsessed with nutrition and functional medicine. And with the things that I was dealing with, I was able to heal myself. And so I started doing it for others.
So, and that's powerful to hear. And when we had our onboarding conversation to prepare for the episode, you kind of mentioned talking about divine intervention. It seems like you're really big on like hearing from God, and if it's like you don't believe in coincidences, is that accurate to say?
No, I don't believe in coincidences, especially if you're present in life. Because everything is showing you signs and giving you signs. And I don't believe that anything happens by chance. I remember asking what my calling was because at the time I didn't know my calling. I went to school for kinesiology and nutrition. And then I remember interning for occupational medicine and occupational therapy and speech pathology. And to be honest, I didn't like any of those. And it took me falling on my face to figure out exactly what I needed to do.
Well, see, and that's for me. that's a common thing with
Yeah.
not just our culture, but people in general. Because like for
Yeah.
me, I also had to pray and ask a
Yeah.
lot, like, what am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm good at a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I never knew, as I was just telling you off camera, like, I feel like I'm in a pursuit of purpose.
For sure.
I'm constantly in that pursuit. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be helping people in some way,
Right.
but I never knew what that way was. And
Right.
I see on your page all the time, like, you got clients and you're helping people. You're pretty much educating them on the health side
Right.
and the physical health side of it.
Yeah.
And you have a like your caption that really stuck with me is "My people perish because of lack of knowledge." Did I quote that right?
You did.
Okay, and it was powerful to me because you said "my people." It's
Yeah.
not just like, you know, something that you're withholding information to yourself, but
Yeah.
you're making it a purpose to get it out there so that our people know about what it is and how they can heal themselves. Can you dive into that a little more, like why that in particular is so important to you?
Yeah. So when I went to functional medicine school, I had such a hard time getting to that school. I was actually the only African American to ever graduate from that program.
Really?
Ever to
Damn,
graduate from.
shout out to that.
Yeah, I was the only African American to ever graduate from that program, and I got kicked out 3 times. I got kicked out of grad school 3 times because every single time I was going into my thesis, they said I was doing something wrong. I had such a difficult time in grad school. It was this very last time that I said, so my mom, she went on to say, you know what, we can't do this. We're going to file a civil rights claim.
Wow,
It got really, really bad because at this point I felt like, I can't say that I felt like the people were nitpicky. I felt like that was a part of my pushing forward to become who I'm supposed to become.
yeah.
And we didn't do that, but it was kind of like a little threat.
Yeah.
And then everything just disappeared. Oh, you're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, of
and this,
course,
that, and
of
third.
course.
But what I realized in being in school and for functional medicine was there's so much information that we don't know, especially people of color do not know about health and wellness as it relates to their own body. We have been so subjected to being a part of or feeling like the diseases and the lifestyle that we have is genetically passed down, and that's not the case. And so it's like, if we're continuously being taught information or lack thereof, we're going to continuously have these chronic illnesses. We're going to chronically be here, you know? And so being that I was the only African American to graduate from that school and being able to have the knowledge that I felt like we don't have at all, it was my purpose. And I felt like that was a part of my purpose to be able to share that with my people.
Yeah, that's powerful. And honestly, like you said, man, our people don't know anything about it. They kind of just accept it as fate.
Yeah.
And that's, excuse me, that's hard. That's a hard mindset and a hard life to live.
Yeah.
You talk about like your parents wanting to make sure that you got yourself together, even though you were an adult at that certain time. Where exactly did you move from? Because I thought you were from Charlotte. Where did you move from?
I'm from Virginia Beach.
Ah, okay. So you've been down here 10 years. Are you an only child?
No, I have 3 brothers.
Okay. Where do you fall in line?
So I have one older brother, and then I have 2 younger brothers below me. And then it was my dad and my mom. And my mom's really, she's really just such a cool mom. So I've pretty much been around, you know, that boy energy my entire life.
I got you.
It's great.
Yeah. So when you were going through this and you were getting educated on all of this stuff, you got men in the house. You grew up around men. You know, men, we eat whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how was it trying to educate them? Was it like, oh man, Kelly tripping? Or like, what was that conversation like with your family? Trying to get them on path? Because I know when you go to school for something, you're passionate about it. It's like, nigga, you need to listen to me. This is what's going on. So what was that conversation like in the house with your family?
Well, it was a very interesting conversation because I grew up Baptist, Christian, Jehovah's Witness, and Muslim. So we had a lot of different Muslim practices. So we weren't Muslim, but we had a lot of different Muslim practices in the house because my dad explored a lot of different things. So and even beyond that, he explored a lot of different religions and things. So I always had an open mind, and I grew up around people that had an open mind to a variety of different things. When I decided to change my diet, it was interesting because that when I finally dove like really deep into what I do, I was here in Charlotte, and my brothers would come visit me all the time. And so when my brothers come visit me, whether it be like my birthday, we're going out, we're partying, the next day they're like, Kelly, cook breakfast. They'll go in the refrigerator. It's like, what is this? Where is the food?
Yeah.
And
So what kind of food was it?
it was a lot of greens, a lot of kale, a lot of spinach, a lot of arugula.
Okay.
I don't eat
Wait,
chicken.
what was that last thing?
Arugula.
What is that?
It's like a salad lettuce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a green.
I don't eat that. So yeah.
Yeah, so it was I just had a lot of different greens, and so our plates at home, so my dad didn't let us eat pork for a very long time.
Okay.
They didn't really buy a lot of sodas. We didn't have juices. We had vegetables with every meal. We never had like snacks like that. So I kind of grew up with, a good basis of not eating really too bad.
Yeah.
But that was in my household, right? So then my mom's family, obviously, they got down,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And then my dad's family, being Jehovah's Witness, they were kind of strict too. So the plate was very well-rounded. Obviously, we were used to more of a black, plate. But coming to me, my brothers were just all like, yeah, I don't know what happened to you.
Yeah, like how did you change?
Yeah, they was like, and there's no chicken in here because I don't eat chicken, So it's like, I am not a human being to them.
Okay, yeah, so that's funny because like when me and my wife, when we go through our workout journeys,
Yeah.
and the first thing we wanted to do was get back into a routine.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people be like, oh man, I gotta stop eating all of this.
Yeah.
And I gotta get back working out.
Yeah.
That's too much of an extreme change at one
100%.
time.
Totally
like
agree.
my biggest thing, like in December, I was 265. The lowest I got down to was 239.
Okay.
And so I lost that significant weight in half a year.
That's amazing.
But I started by just getting a daily routine. I needed to get back in the gym 4 days a week, at least, right? Once I master that, then I can start cutting things out because
Right.
I'm not one of those people that can just eat to live. I need
Right.
to enjoy.
Absolutely.
I need to enjoy my food. I've never
Absolutely.
enjoyed kale.
Yeah.
I've never enjoyed kale.
Well, the thing is, our palates change, right? And so let's just say you grew up eating a certain way. Obviously, your palate is accustomed to what you're used to eating.
Yeah.
So, if you're not used to cooking it in the way that makes sense for you or the way that would taste good for you, it's not going to taste good. I agree with you. I never start any of my clients off on, being some extreme dieter, right? Like people are always coming to me like, what do you want to put me on? Like the tuna diet, the eat air diet, the water diet. I'm like, no, I want baby steps from you because we're human. People ask me all the time, they say, what's your diet, Kelly? I said, I'm a flexitarian. They were like, well, what does that mean? I said, I know what my body needs. I've taken time to cultivate that. And so eventually we're going to do the same for you. So I never put people on extreme diets too.
Okay.
It's baby steps, right? And it's motivational. So if I take everything out, it's going to be easier for you to put everything back in because it's like, I'm starving for chips, and we don't want that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. My wife, like, she don't really care for bacon.
Right.
She likes turkey bacon.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
But my kids, they like it.
They like turkey bacon.
They like. Don't get me wrong. They love both.
Right.
They love both.
Right.
But if my wife only bought turkey bacon,
They'll be okay.
they okay with that. And
Okay.
I take them to school in the morning and she picks them up. So in the morning, I'm scrambling and get them stuff. And I walk past the turkey bacon like 10 times. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm not eating this. And it's not because of like, I don't think turkey meat is good. I do. I love turkey burgers.
Right.
But for like certain things like bacon,
Right.
if it ain't bacon, I just don't give it to me.
Right.
Don't call it something else.
I get that. And to touch on that specifically, so what I do with a lot of my patients that like they don't want to eat vegetables, we're like this does not taste good.
Yeah.
And I'm very unconventional, right? And so they're gonna be like, well, my nutritionist before, well, I'm not her. I'm not him.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it that way. And I want you to have something that you can stick to. So a lot of times, if they do like bacon, I allow them to cook their vegetables in the bacon grease, right? So if you're cooking your kale in the bacon grease, you're cooking your asparagus in the bacon grease, you're more likely to enjoy it versus it tasting bland, or you're trying to create seasonings that don't exist.
So that don't impact like the health of it?
I mean, everything that you cook impacts the health of it, right?
Yeah.
But even with green leafy vegetables, when you cook them, it pulls the nutrients out. And so I'm not saying like drench it in bacon, bacon grease. No, not a bacon grease salad, you know. But
I'm gonna pour this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely, season it with that. And truth be told, a lot of times, majority of the diets that people are on more low carb, high protein. The bacon fat in itself obviously is not great for you. I mean, nothing in abundance is
good
great.
Yeah.
So if you cook it, a little bit, it's not going to affect anything and you're perfectly fine.
Got it. Okay. That's something interesting to know because I'm going to try that and see. Because I'll eat vegetables, but
Yeah.
I'm a fruit guy
Okay.
more. So I can sit there and eat pineapples, watermelon, apples, you name it. Grapes for sure. We get grapes every week. I get a big bowl.
Okay.
I'm going through it. So you talk about your clients and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
want to kind of peel the layers back on
Yeah.
that a little bit. What's one of the most challenging things that you've had to experience when like trying to help a client out? And then also what's on the contrary to that, what's some of the most rewarding things that you got with like trying to change people's habits and helping them get on the right path and help them turn their lives around? Because I'm sure you probably experienced that at some point.
Yeah. I think the most rewarding and the most difficult thing kind of goes together for me.
Okay.
I think that a lot of times the reason why people don't change their diet is because they don't realize it's not the diet. It's really not the diet. It's you changing yourself, And so what happens is I'll make up a person, let's just say this person grew up, eating a certain way, being a certain way, thinking a certain way. And because they don't have fluidity in their thoughts and in their life, they become so rigid. Becoming rigid and truth be told, that creates stuck energy in the body. Stuck energy in the body creates high blood pressure.
So like stress and all
Yeah,
of that
very,
stuff?
very much so. But because they don't have that fluidity, it's very difficult for them to change like their mental space. So when they start changing their diet, what I notice is not necessarily that just the diet has changed, they've changed as a person. So I've noticed people that have come in and have been so like, I'm not eating that, I'm not doing that, and I talk to them like we friends, you know what I mean? Like, nah, because this is what's gonna happen. You keep playing, you know what I mean? And so I think that they really appreciate that because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I know what your primary care said about your medication, but I'm telling you this. And if you want to recover from this, this is what we're going to have to do. So watching them become different people. And I noticed that, truth be told, a lot of people, we just get so enslaved in our way of being.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you talking about like how Thanksgiving, we got to have mac and cheese. We got to have the sweet potatoes and the honey baked ham all in the same pan. And it's delicious. It is delicious. But yes, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's why we can't eat like that all the time.
Yeah.
And to your point, it is a mindset thing more than anything. Because for me, I had to get a life scare in order to really, and I was never like just eating terrible, or I was always relatively active because I was an athlete.
Right.
But like it would be conversation like, yeah, we're gonna get back in the gym and then we'll work out. Oh, I'm tired because the kids and this and that. That's a mindset.
Right.
But once I was told, because I already had what's called degenerative disc disease.
Okay.
So I already had messed up disc in my spine.
Okay.
So I had back issues before the accident. Yeah, I had back issues. I remember me and my wife early in our relationship, she was spending the night and we were about to leave so we can both go to work. I was probably 25 years old.
Yeah.
And we were walking down the stairs and I just locked up and
wow.
I like stumbled on it, like dropped to the stairs, and she had to help me down the stairs at 25 years old. And I had to call off work because I couldn't walk because I had some sort of disc disease that I wasn't aware of. Fast forward, when I got into the accident, obviously if you have back issues, that's only going to make it worse.
Right.
So once the doctor said like, hey, you're probably going to need surgery on your spine at some point because of all of these things, that's when I was like, you know what? I have to make a change. I had to pray on it a lot. I had to ask God to help me trust my body and get through it. And I just needed to get some sort of consistency.
For sure.
I still wake up in pain majority of the time.
Right.
The doctor said that will probably be a lifelong thing, but it's not like I'm not functional.
Yeah.
So like once I get up in the morning, it's kind of like when you got to warm the car up and get the blood flowing a little bit.
Yeah.
But since I had to go through that routine and get my blood flowing and get that weight off of my back, it's been helpful mentally more than physically. Physically, I would just, if it was hurting, I would use it as a crutch.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, man, my back hurting. I'm cool. I'm not doing nothing.
Right.
But now I'm mentally stronger.
Absolutely.
And now I can get into the routine more and more and more. You talked to me offline about like you were in a dark place that kind of pulled you out and brought you to this point to where you got into the functional medication, and becoming a nutritionist and stuff like that. I know you talked about your grandfather.
Yeah.
We all love our grandparents.
Yeah.
That's here. But what was that, if you don't mind talking about it, what was that place that was like that eye opener that brought you through it?
Well, I've been in several dark places, and I think we all have, right? Like, life is so transitional and ebb and flow. I'll talk about the reason why I took a break from, honestly, life in general. I was dating at the time, and I had my gym still open. I closed my gym last June, and he was like, you know what? Just take a break. You don't need to work. You don't need to do anything. I can tell you need a break. And it kind of goes back to what you said and what we said in the beginning. I don't believe that anything happens by chance.
Yeah.
I think that everything has this full circle moment. And how I kind of describe it to my patients is like, let's just say you're in a relationship, right? You and that person broke up. From you guys breaking up, it made you really sad. From you being really sad, people start to eat their feelings. Eating your feelings leads to weight gain in your stomach, insulin resistance, prediabetes, diabetes, kidney failure, whatever, right? And although that's very dramatic, we don't just wake up and decide that we're going to consume a lot of food. We haven't healed from maybe an emotional trigger, an emotional trauma. And for me, it was so crazy because what brought me down wasn't necessarily what I needed to learn, but it happened vice versa. So 2020, my brother passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my oldest brother.
Wow.
And that's when I opened my gym too. So 2020, my oldest brother passed away. Then my grandmother right after that. Then my other grandmother right after that. So it was back to back to back. And the type of person that I've always been, that I can say that I'm no longer in that space unless I choose to, is that performance-based person, right? That I have to show up and have a smile and not, show my emotions and keep everything together and just pretty much put all my feelings to the back burner. So for those years that prior to me taking a break and my brother passing away, I didn't feel anything. I didn't cry. I didn't do anything. Now, when I would drive home, like to Virginia,
It'll hit you.
oh my God, it was terrible.
Yeah, I sorry to hear about your brother, because like I too lost both of my grandmothers.
Yeah.
And I'm from out of town, as you can see.
Yeah.
But
The big O.
yeah, I'm from Ohio. But since I moved to Charlotte, I lost both of my grandmothers once I moved.
Oh, wow.
And we have a very, very big family. And to your point, like you said, it's not a coincidence that you said when you drive back to Virginia Beach. Because like there's times, I got pictures of them hanging around the house.
Right.
And I know that they're not there.
Right.
But it's not until I'm going home. And it's like every time I go home, it's like I found out for the first time over and over and over again. And that's what people don't really understand. Like that in itself is daunting and depressing.
100%.
Because it's like you go here like, oh man, I can't wait to see grandma. Because when I go home, that's what we do first.
Yeah, 100%.
You go to grandma's house.
Right.
My granny, I'll tell you guys this because y'all family.
Yeah.
My granny always cleaned my ears. So I have grandma. That's my mom's mom, and granny was my dad's mom.
Okay.
Granny cleaned my ears.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean like I would be like
grown adult,
25, like granny. You know what time it is?
Right.
Go get the Q-tips. You do the little swirl in her mouth. And that was our thing. But it was her way of connecting with us. I never understood why she did it, but she would sit there and talk and she would hum. And then she would just ask us questions because I would be in her lap just so weak and vulnerable.
Yeah.
She'd get anything out of me that she wanted. So that was our bonding time. So now my daughter, who kind of resembles my granny, that's every day. Dad, I need my ears cleaned. So that's what we do. I clean her ears all the time. So, but sorry, I got
it's okay.
off topic. But grief is a crazy thing. You never know when it's going to hit you. And my way of dealing with grief, and I recently came to the realization, like within the last year or so.
Okay.
In my bio, it says everything I do is a dedication.
Okay.
It's because my way of handling grief is to strive to become the person that the people who I lost raised me to be.
Absolutely.
So I live for them.
Yeah.
Everything I do, yes, I'm being myself. I'm goofy. I do this.
Right.
But I know my grandmothers, my aunts, and my uncles, they poured into me as this person. And I try to never shift from being that person.
Right.
So I know you talked about putting stuff in the back of your mind and it was a lot of buildup. How do you handle grief? Or is that still something that because it's a constant thing, but is that still something you're navigating through?
No, actually, I feel very at peace with it now.
Oh, really?
I feel very at peace. I mean, obviously, I have my moments,
Yeah, of course.
But but I think that when I took that year off, I felt everything because I didn't have the responsibility and the withband to do anything, right? Like I literally took a break and all my emotions just started pouring out. And I remember not being able to understand, like, why am I crying every day? Like, why do I feel this way? And I didn't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to even be with it, to be honest with you. And I just had to be with myself, And so I think that over time, I started to really process my emotions, and me processing it helps me handle it, And so I don't feel it as deeply as it's rooted as I did before, but it's almost exactly what you said. Like it almost feels like everything that I strive for, I want to be the person that my grandmother would want me to be, my brother would want me to be, and everything is a dedication to them.
Yeah, and that's beautiful to hear
Yeah.
because that's the only advice I can give somebody
Yeah.
because like I have a very big family.
Okay.
But when you have a big family, you have a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off for that.
Yeah.
And I have no explanation for
Yeah.
how to handle it because I'm still navigating through it
Yeah.
myself. And there was a time I told my wife too, because like you said, it's hard to explain.
Right.
But do you have kids?
No.
Okay, so like when my kids will be up and they're with me, and me and my wife and kids, we're chilling during the day. We watch
Right.
our shows.
Yeah.
Either we'll be watching like our family show together,
Right.
or my son is on his iPad, my daughter is doing whatever she's doing on my lap, and then me and my wife are watching our show.
Right.
In that moment, I'm just enjoying that moment.
Right.
But I stay up late. So when they all go to bed, I'll either be playing the game or watching TV or
Right.
something. And I'll just out of nowhere have this like internal sadness that
Yeah.
for no reason I can't explain. It's just
Yep.
like something is weighing on me,
Right.
and I cannot explain it.
Right.
And then over time, after speaking to a therapist or getting back into the show, this has been my release. Just
Yeah.
having these conversations
Yeah.
has been an outlet and opening up. Do you ever have clients that you work with who kind of lean on you more than just for nutrition, and they're kind of like, hey, I confide in you, I trust you, because we do that with our barbers and our
Yeah.
hairstylists. Do you get that a lot?
Oh my God. All the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful because a lot of times what I see with a lot of my patients and truth be told, with a lot of people that are struggling with different things that they're trying to get over, it's a sense of connected to self, right? And so we've been disconnected for so long, or haven't been able to express ourselves, or don't have a healthy and safe outlet that we can't release this emotion that's
Yeah.
in there. And so, I mean, almost every single client I get after the first time, and we have our, continued conversations, we talk about everything. Sometimes they just come in and talk, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. So I'll have like, I don't know, like the CEO come in, and she was like, well, what y'all got going on in here? We're having a conversation. That's healing. Just the conversation is healing. And that's okay. And that's what we did today.
So yeah, and like you said, it can be build up and
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah.
And like when I go to my chiropractor, they can feel a
Yeah.
knot or something. Like, yeah, that's stress, bro. You need to
Right.
release that or whatever. And they'll go ahead and they'll whatever they do and they get it out of
Right.
you, whatever. But that like just the conversation.
Yeah.
Do you have only female guests, or do you get, I mean not guests, but clients, or do you have male clients
I
as
have
well?
male clients too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that balance like?
What do you mean?
Because men try to be,
Forward.
I wasn't going to say forward. I was going
okay.
to say men try to act like macho, and they don't always
yeah.
want to open up, especially not to a woman. Like me and one of my boys, we might be able to
Yeah.
talk to each other, but if they're talking to a woman, especially a woman who they don't really have a personal relationship with,
Yeah.
they might have their walls up and they might be guarded because it feels like I can't show that side of me to her. So what is that relationship or dynamic like?
It's so interesting because I think that, I don't know how to fully explain it, but it's almost like a lot of men that I see, that I talk to, it's almost like somebody's been talking at them versus talking to them and just being a good listening ear. And so a lot of times when they're in my presence, I don't do a lot of talking. I just ask questions and make them feel safe and comfortable and just kind of elaborate and let them go. And so many times the session goes way over when it's supposed to go because now they feel safe. So when they walk in, they're tense. They're like, I don't want to be
Yeah,
here. Like, what
yeah,
is
for
this?
sure, yeah.
I know what to do. You can't tell me what to do. I said, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just want to be a safe space to help if I can.
Yeah.
But you tell me what's going on. And so one thing about functional medicine, or I'll say me in general, I'm extremely intuitive. So a lot of times when people come in the office, I can read what's going on before they even open their
Okay.
mouth. So a lot of times it may be, and one of the questions that I ask is, has there ever been a traumatic incident that happened in your life? Because I can sense that something, and so I don't want to say it until they feel comfortable with it. And so I use an example. Let's just say someone, they come in very rigid and they have all the answers. And I say, and I remember saying this specifically, I was like, why are you so tense and tight? Why are you so rigid? Like, what's going on? Like, what is, and he kind of broke down,
Really?
Yeah, because he was like, he said, I've been feeling something going on within me, but I didn't know how to express it. And I didn't know what that looked like. And I've been to everybody trying to figure that out. And you're the only person that can tell me what I'm feeling. And so I think just really being present with people, and a lot of people don't do that. People having a whole conversation in their head, not even thinking about you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. So yeah. So I mean, the men, they come in very rigid, but then they leave. They're like, okay, Miss Logan, Miss Kelly, I'm gonna see you next week. I was like, okay, so it's great.
And I think it's also the way you phrase it too.
Okay.
When you ask the question to them, like, why are you so rigid?
Yeah.
That's not a common thing. And I
Okay.
feel like if you look at social media, you see our people, men, it's like a men versus women thing.
Yeah,
It's always
crazy.
a constant tearing down of each other.
Yeah.
Like, men ain't this, women ain't that. And I don't understand that. I feel like if you understand people better,
Yeah.
then you would treat people better.
100%.
And that's my whole purpose of the show, because I want to be able to have these conversations. You are a well-educated professional in your field. You can hear it the way you just spitting this knowledge out and stuff like that. It's all news to me.
Yeah.
But the things you're talking about, I can relate to it because either I've been through it or somebody I know has been through it. And I'm sure people who are watching are going to relate to it in some sort of way.
Right.
And once we had these conversations, it's like, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that go through that. So I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
And the what's the word I want to use? The pride that you do it with. You know what I mean? You use it as a priority. You wear it as a badge. And I think that's very, very big to us as a people.
Yeah.
If I was a client of yours, so you say you can just pick up on energy and stuff like that. What would be an assessment or a question that you would ask if I was just walking in right now? We sat down, we're having a conversation. What would that look like? Me, not somebody off the street, but
Like you. Okay.
me, yeah.
There's a battle. It's a weight somewhere. I don't know where that weight is. It's almost like, I don't know if it's a questioning of something internally or externally or whatever the case may be, but there's a heaviness. And it's deep. So I would ask, beyond your grandparents passing away, there was something else that happened before that. And it could be like, I would say like high school, middle school-ish, or maybe right after that. But I would see that it's just a heaviness.
Okay, so this is really crazy because as I was walking out to come let you in, I was just telling them a story about when I was probably like 22, I lost my best friend. She had sickle cell, and she wasn't supposed to have kids.
Okay.
And she asked me to be the godfather. I'm 22 years old. I didn't have no kids, none of that. I was in college. Okay. But I'm like, oh yeah, I got you. For sure, I got you.
Right.
And I just remember when we was in high school, everybody would be going to like homecomings and all of that stuff. but she wouldn't go because she had like a pacemaker at
Okay.
16 years old. So she couldn't do the things that most kids our age were doing.
Okay.
And she was never supposed to have kids. But when she got pregnant, it was a miracle. And she was like,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm having this baby."
For sure.
And they're like, "You shouldn't." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm having the baby." So fast forward, when my goddaughter was like 2, my friend had she passed away
Okay.
alone in the house with her. And
I'm so
and
sorry.
yeah, and she was there alone for like 3 days when my goddaughter at 2 years old in the house. I would pick her up every Sunday.
Right.
And that particular Sunday I couldn't get her because her mom passed and I didn't know. And that day when that happened, I never could like voice it, but like I felt like I lost them both on the same day because that's not my kid. That's my goddaughter.
Right.
I love her to death, but she had to go and live with her dad's side of the family.
Right.
So I spent the last 13 years trying to just find ways to keep in touch with her. And now she's 15 years old. And I'm blessed that we can have a conversation where she can text me and, she can check on me and say like, "Hey, Dad, I'm ready to start learning how to drive," and stuff like that. And, but like, I always tell her, I try not to put it on her a lot when I talk to her. Cause I try and just like build a relationship from where it's at now, not from what it was. But I still want her to know that I'm here for her.
Okay.
And I guess the heaviness was that like.
Can I tell you what I feel?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel like guilty for some reason?
Yeah, because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was going with it. Because like once that happened, I couldn't be there for her like I promised her mom I would be. And, that was out of my hands. And even my goddaughter kind of said it recently, like, well, it's okay. I always knew you was around. And she said that to me. But I still have some sort of guilt inside because it's like I was supposed to be there for you. And she would tell me stories about stuff she'd been through. And I won't talk about those things.
Sure.
But it's just like, damn, man. Damn, I wasn't there. So that's something that I've never publicly talked about. So that, yes, I mean, me and my wife talk about those things and all of that. But yeah, that was something that was like, because I felt like I lost both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And then now I see her and she looked like her mom and she got this necklace with her mom on it. And it's just like, all right, yep, I'll call you back later. You know what I mean? But like she'll like when I went back home, she spent time with my kids and it was beautiful to see them interact and stuff like that. So yeah, but that's part of I hold on to those little things like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. I'm really big on changing. I even with what you said, I'm really big on like understanding and changing perspective, because even in obviously a horrific situation, now she has somebody that's going to be, and not that you weren't before, but you're in her life so intentionally now, and obviously she needs that, and so even with that. The guilt, and I'm glad you expressed it because I hope that it allows you to feel freer, or let it,
I hope now that I said it out loud, and addressed it, because like I'll reach out to her, but sometimes I don't really know what to say,
right,
and I feel like I'm just saying the same thing, and I feel like sometimes I'm getting on her nerves, but she always responds like, "Hey, love you too, miss you," or sweet things like that. But I always feel like you just don't know how much I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You just don't know how much I want to talk to you about. But I try not to overwhelm her, and because I don't want to ruffle the feathers of that relationship.
Okay.
So it's just so much. With that.
Yeah.
And that was very tough. It's still tough to deal with that.
I can imagine.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We good. Me and her always been good. But it's just trying to grow from that, and then it helped me develop and become a father that I am today. Just learning how to value that and how to appreciate everything my wife does, because it's like, man, I know a girl who's grown up without her mom.
Right.
I value what you did to even give birth to our kids. You know what I mean? I value the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I value my kids every day because I can see them every day.
Right.
Even when they getting on my nerves or I'm getting on their nerves, like I value that time.
Right.
I don't know if I would have, or I'm not gonna say that. I'm sure I would have, but I value it so much differently,
right,
because of that.
Yeah.
Is there any questions that you have for me? It don't got to be about that, but just in general, any questions that you have for me as a person, influencer, podcaster, husband, any of those things? Any questions that you have in general for me?
Not quite, but my questions flow as they come.
Okay.
So yes.
So I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So with you being a nutritionist,
Okay.
and you on your health kick and all of that, what is your one ultimate? If y'all can have a cheat meal, like, ooh, if this is my last day on earth, I'm eating this. I ain't supposed
Oh,
to, but I'm
dang.
eating this. What would that be?
Man, I like so much different foods. It'll be pasta and pizza.
What kind
Oh
of
my
pasta is
gosh.
vague? What kind of pasta?
No, but you know what just popped in my head? I used to eat chicken and dumplings back in the day
Oh, okay.
with
Yeah.
like biscuits and stuff. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That would probably be it. But I like a shrimp Alfredo. That would probably be one of my meals. Pepperoni pizza. I love pepperoni
Yeah.
pizza.
Can't miss with
No,
that.
you really can't. But you know, being a flexitarian, like I was telling you, I don't necessarily limit myself to not being able to have some of the things that I want.
It's just
So,
moderation.
yeah, or it's like plan. I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say I know that I'm going to go eat something bad today. I will fast all day long and make sure like my very first meal is like greens or veggies or whatever. And then I'm having my final meal at the end. So, but yeah, it's just a healthy balance. So let's just say I'm allowed 2,000 calories, which I don't count calories, but let's just say that was the case.
Yeah.
I definitely don't do that.
My wife does.
Really?
I tried. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll just watch what I eat.
Yeah. Because it becomes tedious, and sometimes it's just not something that you can keep up with forever.
Yeah.
You know. So if that were the case, I'd be like, well, I'll just have all of that, you know, later on during the day as my one meal a day versus having all these meals and then having that.
I got you. I got you. If there was, I'm a Italian food is my favorite food.
Yes.
I don't eat seafood though, so I'm more like steak and chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
Like heavy Alfredo.
Yeah.
Homemade lasagna too.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah. What is your guilty pleasure like show? Like when you're just sitting around, what is your guilty pleasure like? I don't feel like thinking and doing nothing. This is what I'm doing with my time.
So I've seen this show probably 5,000 times. Girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
And How to Get Away with Murder.
I was a big Scandal fan.
Were you really?
I love Scandal.
I like Scandal too.
I love Scandal. I didn't watch How to Get Away with Murder
you
because
need to watch
I know,
that.
I keep hearing that because it was at the same time, so it was just like, damn, this is a lot of time consuming. But
you have to, because it'll take you on a full blown roller coaster.
yeah, I thought Command was the shit.
See, I never seen Command.
No, I'm talking about on Scandal. Her dad.
Oh, see, I never saw Scandal.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I need to watch that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll watch How to Get Away with
Okay.
Murder. Yeah.
Okay.
My last question I have.
Okay.
If there was one narrative that you can change about our culture and our people and how we're viewed, what would that narrative be?
That is a great question. Oh my goodness. One narrative. As in how we're viewed?
Yeah, any narrative there is, like, for instance, a narrative I can't stand is they say like black men aren't great fathers.
Yeah.
I can't stand that narrative.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So anything like that.
Black people are so loving, so caring, so generous, so genuine. I think that's the better word. Black people are, and I wish that the angry hate, just always frustrated, combative. I think everybody can be that way, but I know that it's become like demonized in the Black community. But majority of Black people, we are so loving and so caring. I tell my mom sometimes, like, so I love going to a specific area in Charlotte to go grocery shopping sometimes, because the women at this particular Food Lion make me feel like I'm at home.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my God. They're like, oh baby, can I get this for you? Okay, take care. Okay, what you need? And this, and I'm like, I just love it here.
Yeah.
And they're so loving. So that's what I would change.
And that is, man, you're like the third person who said something along those lines.
Really?
Yeah, the word they used was aggressive. They
Okay.
said that they hate that people call us aggressive
yeah.
just because we don't agree with something.
Right.
And everybody constantly says, like, no, we're genuine. We love, especially we're supportive of each other.
Yeah.
Like the Black community, we try to support.
We do try.
If it's a Black-owned business, we
going.
We trying.
Right. right.
Now, if it ain't, if it's not acting accordingly,
Then
we not gonna support it
for sure.
But that's with any business.
Absolutely.
But we definitely gonna try and support our own.
Yes.
For sure.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that you came on here and dropped the knowledge that you did. I'm grateful that you shared your story.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that you shared yours too.
I appreciate that.
I love learning, and I think that I was able to learn from you today.
Oh, damn, that's deep. That's deep. I appreciate that. It's definitely opened my eyes because I like to have people on here to just authentically talk about things that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of knowledge on the functional medicine side.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, I'm aware of things, but I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
And people, when you hire somebody to be your nutritionist or your trainer or anything of that nature, let them do their job. Stop acting like you know more than them. People have jobs for a reason.
Yes.
If you paid them, let them be.
Please do.
Was that a good message?
Yes, it was.
Add it to your promo. So as always, like I always like to say, as a culture, I feel like we've been dealt a bad hand and they expect us to follow suit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change the narrative of that. With these conversations like this, I feel like we have.
Yes.
Kelly the Great, you are truly great. I appreciate you. It's love always, and I support everything you got going on. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Charlotte Podcast Studio, we appreciate you. You guys have a good one. This episode is brought to you by Oaklore Distilling. We appreciate Oaklore Distilling for all of the beverages that they provide. Gold level spirits for the drinking glasses. I don't have a sponsorship from Micheliness, but I would like one. So if you guys, and Ilthy for the hats. I appreciate you guys.